Hey everybody, this is Dan Stolbarger. Welcome to this week's Middle East update. It is February 12th, the week of February 12th, and we're going to look back on the different events that have transpired this week, kind of through the lenses of the Middle East, of Israel. So remember, there is a PDF PowerPoint, you see it behind me, that is available on the YouTube link. Just click it, you got it. So let's jump in. We usually start with our news bites. And, we're talking about ballistic rockets, nuclear weapons, etc., that Iran has possessions of. Just know this, that in regards to the rockets, the missiles, the ballistic missiles of Iran, the reports out claim that a launch from Iranian territory could reach Israel in roughly 10 minutes. And we've been there before, and we've seen the devastation in Tel Aviv of one ballistic rocket or missile. And let me tell you, they have hundreds, if not up to 1,000 of these. Now, as the world looks on, the world's obsession with this sort of de-escalation usually means only one thing for Israel. Here it is. Jews are expected to accept danger quietly. And so diplomats can actually feel proud of themselves, but Israel is saying, not this time. And of course, we're dealing with the Winter Olympics right now. Do you realize that Israel was actually booed at the Winter Olympics opening ceremony in Milan? Iran, on the other hand, faced almost no backlash whatsoever. The world in which we're living. The IDF is readying a new Gaza offensive plan to disarm Hamas by force. Plans are being currently drawn up for a large-scale operation. Make no mistake about it, Hamas will not voluntarily lay down their arms. It's going to take Israel, it's going to take the IDF to make this happen. And finally, just out, so-called breaking news, with this meeting between Bibi and Trump in DC. Trump is now, just within the last hour, made the statement that he's giving the Iranians 1 month to reach a deal. Okay, let's take a look at our major articles for this week. You've heard this before. This is simply called insanity. Albert Einstein's quote, "The only thing I have to say about insanity is that it's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results." That's the classic Albert Einstein quote. And you know what? This whole thing with the U.S. negotiating with the Islamic Republic reminds me of that quote. Now, the Israelis are very skeptical that any actual deal can be made between the U.S. and Iran. Trump, especially with what Trump has said publicly, that a good deal would mean no nuclear weapons, no ballistic missiles, and in a sense, everything that's coming out of Iran right now is saying just the opposite, that whatever deal it is won't deal with the rockets and the missiles or whatever. It's just a nuclear plan. Trump to Bibi, who's flying home right now to Israel, made it crystal clear, we must negotiate. Trump met privately with Netanyahu at the White House on Wednesday. And again, no press allowed, no questions and answers afterwards. But he insisted to the Israeli leaders that the negotiations with Iran must run the full course. And again, I'll read to you in a moment the prepared statement by Netanyahu. The Iranian response to all of this, just so you know, as I've mentioned, the head of Iran's National Security Council, the confidant of the Ayatollah, warned this week that Tehran will strike American bases across the Middle East if the U.S. attacks Iran in any way. Again, despite what reports are coming out about the willingness to set aside rockets and nuclear materials or whatever, the guy's name, the confidant, the head of the national security, Larjani, basically emphasized that Iran will not agree to halt or limit its ballistic missile program. Bibi, this is Bibi's remarks from the powwow between him and Trump. He says, quote, "I have just completed a short but an important visit to Washington during which I spoke with our great friend, President Trump. We have a close, genuine, open relationship. The talks covered several topics, but focused mainly on the negotiations with Iran. The president believes that the Iranians already understand who they're dealing with. I think the conditions he sets, combined with their understanding that they erred the last time by not reaching an agreement, could lead them to agree to terms that would allow a so-called good deal." And then he goes on to say, "But I want to clearly state, I do not hide my general skepticism about the possibility of reaching any agreement with Iran. However, I made it clear that if an agreement is reached, it must include the important components, the red line, so to speak, for the state of Israel. And in my opinion, also for the entire international community. Not only the nuclear issue, but the ballistic missiles, the Iranian proxies in the region. It was an excellent conversation that we've had, but of course we touched on Gaza, the entire region, and other general issues. In any case, this is another conversation with a great friend of the state of Israel, a president like no other. Thank you very much." And this, as you know by now, was the 7th visit that Netanyahu and Trump have had since Trump entered office. New subject, Temple Mount. Boy, we're reading a lot about the Temple Mount these days. Allowing Jews to not only go up to the Temple Mount, but to pray on the Temple Mount, to sing on the Temple Mount, to dance on the Temple Mount. And the backlash from Abbas, basically his words, quote, "The Alaska Mosque, or the Temple Mount, and he includes the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, are ours, Palestinians. They are all ours, and they, the Jews, have no right to defile them with their filthy feet." Then he goes on to say, "We salute every drop of blood spilled for the sake of Jerusalem. This blood is clean, pure blood shed for the sake of Allah. Every martyr will be placed in paradise, and all the wounded will be rewarded by Allah." Again, this is Mahmoud Abbas. They go on to glorify the Munich the Munich Olympics, where the massacre of the Jewish athletes. They're glorifying the ones that created and killed and massacred these Jewish athletes. They call them shahids, martyrs, heroes. Well, that's what's going on as far as that goes. And then we have, of course, the UN. So following the mass massacres that we've just seen, the UN in Iran, the UN Secretary General Guterres sends, quote, "Congratulations to the Ayatollah regime on the 47th anniversary of the Islamic Revolution." I wish I could be making this stuff up. Really. Congratulations on how you've butchered your people. And then the world of statistics, the most popular names of children born in the EU and the European cities. Take a look. London, Muhammad. Manchester, Muhammad. Berlin, Muhammad. Brussels, Muhammad. The Hague, Muhammad. Amsterdam, Muhammad. Oslo, Norway, Muhammad. Europe has fallen. And then I couldn't help but to end with a cartoon of Where's Waldo, but this is entitled, Where's the Ayatollah? Hiding in a bunker. So we don't know. There's no way of knowing what's going on in Trump's mind. We do know this, that he's now sending another, as of today, word is that there's another aircraft carrier convoy heading to the Middle East. The power that the U.S. has with these carrier convoys, with our planes, and just the firepower is unbelievable. And so not only with the Abraham Lincoln that's there, but now another carrier going, something must be up. But once again, we will just have to wait and see. So that's our report for this week. God bless you. Pray the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for your leaders. Pray for wisdom and knowledge for both Trump and Netanyahu. But know this, ultimately, God is in control. So God bless you and shalom.